Okay, hopefully the our building of the new building sound won't be too annoying. All right, I forgot to load these slides for you all to show you how to add vectors, and it's everything that we've just been talking about. Um, Pretty straightforward stuff here. Trig basic. Here's all the trig you need for the class. All right, and I finally put the slide on your on your uh, on your canvas. Okay, and it's at the very top. It's right after the intro slide. So here's all the stuff we've been talking about. Okay. And now you've got some practical applications for it. Um, this looks scary, but it's not. It's just the way we find the length of this side is the hypotenuse. You can review these slides. It's nice and neat. It's much better than my scribbling writing and all that. So we're all good. Okay. Scalar. Here's where we explain the difference between scalars and vectors. All right. Arrows represent vectors. A pound is a force, so that's a vector. You may not think that. You might, because one of the things we get confused is that pounds is actually a force. The mass in English units is a slug, by the way. All right. And so scalars and vectors, it goes 2 kilometers that way at 30 degrees. Finish. Often it's necessary to add one vector onto another to get the resultant vector. You go tail to head, tail to head. This one's not too bad, 5 to 3. This one, if we add the two to get the resultant vector, tail to head, you got to do a little trig, 6 to 2. There it is. That's what we've been doing, 6.32 squared. So don't feel too overwhelmed, all right, by this, because tomorrow, well, in class, we're not going to go over this. We're going to start right away. Now, here's where vector addition and subtraction gets a little bit, this isn't bad. So if you have vector C, and then, so vector A is equal to C minus B. And so you've got to take the negatives of it. That gets a little confusing for students. A plus B, A minus B. So let's pause here real quick. And let's say that I've got a vector A, which is equal to 3.5 x hat minus 2.1 y hat. And I've got vector B is equal to negative 4.0 x hat minus 7.3 y hat. Okay? So A plus B, pretty straightforward. That'd be 3.5 minus 2.1. Was this a minus 4.0? This is negative. Make sure we keep it straight. And minus 7.3 because we're adding everything. So this would be negative 1.5 and add those two, minus 9.4. And then the resultant vector would be the square root of negative 1.5 squared plus negative 9.4 squared, whatever that is. And then the angle that it makes would be the inverse tangent of y over x, 9.4 over 1.5. Now, whatever this angle comes out to be, just looking at this, I've got it. Where is that vector? Well, it goes negative 1 this way and negative 9 way down here. So it's a big angle. I would say it's probably around 70, 75 degrees. Well, I'll just do it real fast. So we've got the inverse tangent of 9.4 divided by 1.5. Now, some of you might have calculators and I've got 80.9 degrees. And I thought it was good. I guess 78. So that wasn't bad for a guess, actually. So 80.9 degrees below negative x axis. Okay? There you go. So I just wanted to make sure that because we're going to start right away with using vectors next class period. Well, on Friday, we're going to start right off with doing two-dimensional motion. Okay, we'll start class with two-dimensional motion, and that might be where we'll have to see how far we get Monday before we test, because I don't do review days. Okay, I'll maybe the last 15 minutes of class, I'll tell you, I'll already have the test made up. Lauren will know what the test is and all that, but she won't tell you what's on the test. But she might be able to in her extended kind of guide you. Say, well, I wouldn't worry. She might be kind and go, I wouldn't worry too much about that question, but she won't do the exam for you. All right. So there. All right. So I think we're ready. I'm going to go ahead and turn this off. I don't think this will be the last slide. In fact, because let's take a look at what some more of these slides say. Break it down to scalar components. Here they are. We've done all this stuff. Oh, yeah, I forgot. I wanted to do, gosh dang it. Okay, so that was A plus B. What if we do B minus A? What if we look at B minus A? So I'll write down vector B, negative 4.0 in the x hat, minus 7.3 in the y hat. Now you got to be careful. Watch your algebra. So I'm going to put, since we're subtracting, then I'll put A is 3.5 x hat minus 2.1 y hat. But look, it's outside, the negative is outside the parentheses here. So this changes to negative 3.5 x hat minus plus 2.1 y hat. So I'll just kind of get rid of that, do this, and add them together, get negative 7.5 x hat minus 5.2 y hat, and then you know how to find the result vector of that. You just repeat, lather, rinse, repeat. All right, there's vectors. So it's what we do. All right, and it'll be big in chapter 4. All right, out here. That's it. These 3 videos, I think that's enough.